Morning, everybody. It's April 13th today. Just up to the farm this morning. Thought I'd make a video. It's been a while since I made a at length one, I should say. But give you a little look at the calves and what we did, what we've been doing. So yesterday we let. Obviously, you can see there's like the alleyway right here. There's a fence right there, and there's a fence right here. And the cows go up to the barnyard, and they walk down this way to get to water. Well, we've had 7 calves now. I guess technically 8, but 7 calves as of yesterday. And so we turned the moms and the calves out in the pasture out there, give them a little more room. That one over there is actually having breakfast right now. Right there. But anyway, yeah, we turned the cows and the calves out there that have had, so they have a little more room to run, and it gets a little packed up in the barnyard there. What's left down there in the alleyway, there's 4 cows to have calves, and then there's the one lonely steer that's going to be going to market here pretty soon. So there was 5 cows. This morning I see that we actually have a new addition overnight. We'll go up and take a look at him or her, because I'm not even sure what it is yet. But at this point we've had this is the 8th calf. We've actually had 9 calves, but one of them I told you in the last video that didn't make it. So this is actually calf number 9, but the 8th one that's up and around. They actually are having breakfast right now, and that's our one and only black cow that we have. She's the oldest cow we have. And last year she had a black calf with a white face. And this year she had a brown one with a white face. Which is a little weird, being the fact that it's the same bull the last 2 years. So it's a little weird. But anyway, she looks to be a little annoyed that I'm videotaping. Don't worry, I won't sell it. I won't sell it. I won't sell the video. Okay. So anyway, see, we have some of the wood or tillage equipment out. And I've got another one on behind me here that I'll show you guys here in a little bit. But yesterday we sowed the oats in this field right down here. And then over across the hill on the other side, we had that small field that was the neighbors that we usually planted corn and beans into. They decided they have a small herd of cattle that they just wanted to pasture it. So we went over yesterday and worked up the ground for them, and we sowed in some oats, and they bought some pasture mix. So we did that yesterday. Wasn't overly dry. You can kind of see on the discs here a little bit that, of course, I haven't got a chance to get shined up yet, but the dirt was sticking to it. But after it sat for a few hours, it mellowed out and dried up, so it worked pretty good. Duals are behind me here. They got to go on the 12. Yeah. And I've got all the oil changed and all the tractors. Soil finishers ready to go. I did end up buying some pieces. I didn't get everything that I wanted to put on it, but it is a functioning unit now. I just didn't get a chance to get around to getting everything for it. So, but I'm going to show you something that you probably have never seen in any of the videos hooked to anything. Right there. This is, this pair, the tractor and this plow, come together to this farm back in 1980. We haven't used this for, I think the last time we used it was probably, and I'm not even sure, 2014 or 2015. I think we plowed like, I don't know, 3 or 4 acres with it, with the 986. But when Dad bought the 986 new, the plow was brand new also. We come here together, and Dad plowed with it that fall. Actually, he plowed with it New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, one of the two, I remember for sure, but either way, he plowed with it, and he actually broke the tail wheel off from it right off the bat. So, yeah, that was our only, tillage tool that we had other than, we had a disc, and we plowed and we disc everything forever. And then I think, I don't know, 2010, probably the fall of 2010, we bought a chisel plow, and so then this kind of didn't really get full-time use. Dad was still helping out on the farm yet a little bit, and he would have rather moldboarded with this than chisel plowed. So, given the opportunity, he would use the plow here over the chisel plow. So if we hey, if you want to do something today while we're at work, he would go out and he'd plow. So yeah, and then I think that was probably, I would say, the last time it was used mainly as the tillage tool would have been 2010. 2011, it probably got used a little bit for acreages here and there, and then probably put away. We used it in 2014 or 15, I'm not sure on it, but when we started renting the neighbor's ground down here, after it flooded in 2013, we rented that ground. Well, there was a bunch of trash and stuff, and it was in CRP for a number of years. We decided just to go ahead and turn it over, so we hooked the plow to the 986 and went down there and plowed. It was like, I say, that one field I think is like 2.5 or 3 acres, and the field over across we just seeded down yesterday is like 1.25 acres, so not much. So I have about 10 acres up this valley up here that I want to plow up because they have corn stalks in it, and it's really rocky, and I don't want to run the chisel plow through it because it's just going to pull up a bunch of big rocks, being the fact that it's going to be soybeans. I don't want to have a bunch of big rocks sitting on top of the ground. So decided to pull this out of the shed, and give it a go. Hopefully it should work. It should work fine. It's definitely, the plow is in desperate need of some new wear parts on it. But I don't know. It has to be completely probably rebuilt on it, and I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe I'd like to find a smaller plow that's a little easier to maneuver. Not for what, but I'd like a little play toy. Either to put something on, like, I don't know, maybe like the 756 or like the 560 or 300. I can maybe go fart around on some plow days. Go find like a 2 or 3 bottom plow. I know they'd pull more, but the 300 would pull the 3 bottom because Dad used to, but I don't need to put a 3 bottom on it. I can put a 2 bottom on it, and the 560 would pull a 4, but I could put a 3 bottom on it and pull it just fine. You go to plow days and everyone wants to hook their big plow up and then they look stupid. Just put a smaller plow on it, and it'd be easier to haul, or I could just drive it there. But this is just a little bit, this is a little cumbersome as far as, moving around with it. So, but yeah, we've got some, I know. I got bolts, hex bolts through this because the proper plow bolts are actually pulled through. These are so thin down here. Actually, there's a small pinhole in it. I think if I put the correct bolts like that flat one right there, it would just pull through. So I'm just going to send it. It's 10 acres. This one back here's had a patch welded on it. I don't know. It needs some work. It needs a lot of parts on it. Luckily, it's only 4 bottoms. So, Anyway, yeah. Probably wondering why it's on the 986 and not the 12. Probably one thing is probably nostalgia. I enjoy nostalgia. This tractor was bought new with this plow, and I spent a lot of time in that back window of that tractor riding along with my dad plowing, and it's just something that I think about quite a bit. So I'm gonna go give it a try. So I mean, it's not that I've never plowed before, but and the 1256, the last time we used it on the plow, it had smaller tires in the back, and it was fully weighted with fluid in the rear tires, and then we had all the wheel weights on it. So it weighed 13,000 plus pounds. I'm not sure, but 13,000 plus. The 986 weighs 14,000 pounds as it sits right here. Would the 1256 pull this? Absolutely. But right now, it doesn't have any fluid in the rear tires. It does have the wheel weights on it, but it still weighs just a tick over 11,000 pounds. So it weighs a ton less than it did before when we plowed with it. And with the wider tires, it doesn't fit the furrow well because these are 18-inch bottoms, and the tires on the back of the 12 are 20.8, so they're a little wide. It would work, but it doesn't give you a lot of leeway. So, and when we put the 20.8s on it, we moved the axles, we moved the hubs on the bar axles, so the tractor's a little narrower than it should be for plowing, and we don't want to have to widen it out to plow with. This tractor's widened out just like it was when we plowed with it before, so it's to me it seems pretty. And this has got differential lock in it too, so if we get into a little tough spot, you just press the button and away you go. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go up in the bottom and we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna bring you along and we'll see what happens. Also, I never showed you guys what I did to the tractor a couple weekends ago. I got the stuff all done on the 986. Anyway, so this is the, I guess we'll just crawl up here. So on these tractors, they always had a rod that went from here into here, and it was like a door catch. Well, I don't know if you've been around 86 series tractors enough to know that these go bad, so the door just flops around and shuts all the time on you when you don't want it to. Well, K&M makes a kit, puts this door shock on it, okay, and it holds the door open. You know, you got to drill some holes, whatever, and you put it on there, and now it holds the door open like it should. Problem is, you got to be careful. That's about 2 inches lower than the door opening is, so you got to be careful. Watch your head. So, and also, I got a new headliner in here, all brand new. It's pretty nice. It's actually quite simple to do. Fair cab kits is where I got it from. This is the, I don't know what they call it, like the Pro mod, the Pro one, I think they call it Proform. It's all one piece. There's no glue, there's no nothing. Stick it up into place, you know, and then it's literally just held in with everything that holds it into place. So, and then I got a new radio, and we'll get over to that here. Right here, this right here is the new radio. It's got Bluetooth, no, not Bluetooth. It's got like an aux cord. It's behind it. I could probably pull it through here and have an aux cord so I could play off my phone if I wanted. This one's a little nicer than the factory one. It's got presets on it and it's digital. I had to wire up into the dome light here to get power for the battery off to keep the presets. So, it was a little bit of a challenge, but I got it done. It wasn't quite as easy, I think, as it was made out to be, but we made it work. So, yeah, it's nice in here. I do have a bad speaker. I only have one good speaker on this side. So I'm going to have to get myself a speaker for this side. But and I thought maybe I knew it was that way before I put the radio in. But I wasn't sure if it was the radio that was the problem because it was so bad that maybe it was only one of the wires was working for it. But until I put the new radio in, now I don't have a speaker up here. It does no work. So anyway, one bad thing about the door shock is it's a little harder to shut the doors now. But anyway, I'll take that. It's fine. So anyway, we're going to get fired up here. We'll go up and we'll see what kind of issue I can get into. So, yep, and radio starts and goes. Little Vern Gosden. All right. Well, we've made it into the field. I've actually plowed quite a bit in here, but I'm trying to set the plow, and it's not perfect. Please don't judge me. First off, this isn't probably the most, it's probably not the correct, this isn't the best field on the farm to test it out on, I'm sure. It's pretty, I'm on a hillside. This is like red clay. That down there is essentially gravel. And the plow is working okay. It's not perfect. I think I've got an issue with the draft on the tractor on the 3-point, because I really would like the front bottoms to go in a little deeper, and they will, but as soon as it senses a little bit of load, it pulls it back up out of the ground a little ways. So I would like it to go in the ground a little more in the front. It's not working. And I've adjusted the draft lever here. It doesn't do any good. So I'm not sure if the draft is not working correctly on the tractor. And I know this ground looks, like black dirt here. But it is essentially gravel in spots. Black gravel. The agronomist comes out and is like, does the soil testing, and he goes, the soil testing, they call it Beaver Creek loam or sand or sandy loam or something like that. And when you gotta have like the word creek in your dirt sample, it kind of shows you how good of dirt you actually have. I've never actually ran a plow before one-handed. That's not real easy. And it probably would help out if I had better plow lays on it. It would go in the ground a little better. And it's getting shined up, so it's doing a little better job. But this is the side here plowing uphill is where it really has an issue. Oh, there we go. Did you see it? Now it goes and digs in the ground. Now it kind of pulls it up out of the ground a little bit. So I'm guessing there's a problem with the draft somewhere on the tractor. So one nice thing about this plow is that it's a high clearance plow, and it clears corn stalks. I don't ever remember as a kid this thing ever plugging up with corn stalks. That's very nice. So especially like in today with corn, seems like it holds onto its leaves so long that there's trash all over the place. So yeah, here's where up here is where the real bad gravelly stuff is at. You can kind of see how that's red clay up that way. Plowing down the hill does a lot better job than plowing up the hill. And in here, we're essentially gravel. You can kind of see the plow just kind of is skidding on top of the ground right now. And it was that way as a kid too. But like we would probably have better. Dad would put the plow lays, or I probably should have put the plow lays on, but the whole thing needs to be rebuilt on the bottom of it. But anyway, I think that I'm going to let you guys go. So yeah, I'm plowing this. Say I got a, there's probably, I don't know, 7 acres left, I suppose. There's still 2 fields over behind me. There's a field there, and there's one across another ditch over there. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll talk to you guys later.